Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create an iRig. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a polygon sphere. And let's go to the front view, and I'll just zoom out a little bit. And if I hold down X, I'm just going to pop this up here, grab my rotator tool, hold down J, hold down, Yee. There we go, make it big, great. And I got a sphere. Okay, kill the history, freeze the transformations, and I'm just going to give this a quick name. We'll call it I_L. Okay, I left, and I'm just going to quickly go in here and I'm going to assign a new material. I'm going to put on a Fong, and when I put on the Fong, I'm going to go in here to color, and I'm going to map it with a ramp. Okay. And I can't see it right away, so I can press 6 so I can see what's going on, and I can kind of, okay, if I drag this over here, we can kind of see what's going on. Okay, great. I'm going to change the interpolation from linear to none. Okay, and when I do this, the white kind of just stays there, and there's just going to be a straight line. Okay, nothing super special. Okay, so now I've got this. And let's get rid of that for a moment. We'll come back to that later. I'm just going to take my eyeball. I'm going to make a duplicate, and I'm going to hold down X, and I'm going to move it over here. There we go. I'm just going to call this IR. Okay, so I got 2 eyes. Yay! Next thing I want some kind of controllers. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'll go create maybe EP curve tool. I'll put it on one linear. And maybe what I'll do is I'll make some kind of controller for some kind of God type controller. So if I hold down X, boop, 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 I got to come up with some better shape. But whatever. For now, this will do just fine. Boop, yep, yep. And I hit Enter. There it is. And I'll just call this like God Control. Oops. Great. And then I'm going to shift over to my right view here, and I'll make a couple of little controllers. I'm going to go and I'm going to hit create. I'll just use the CV curve tool, and I'll make something like, how about a little bunny rabbit? Yes. Everybody sees the silhouette. Oh, it's looking like, oh, okay, I don't like that. Let's go in. I don't know what the hell this is now. It looks like, okay, whatever, good enough. Little bunny rabbit, sure. I'm going to go in and I'll center my pivot, and I'm just going to take this pivot point, and let's just hold down X. I'll go and I'm just going to take this and we'll pop it up here on the axis. Let's make it a bit smaller so it's not too obnoxious to look at. Okay, great. And I'm just going to freeze out the transformation, kill the history. Let's call this thing I interest. Okay, great. Oh, and one more little controller I'm going to make. I'm going to go in here and I'll create CV curve tool. Maybe I'll make some kind of eyeball-y type shape thing. If I just hold down X, 1, 2, 3. If I put like 3 points, I can get a little kind of a straight edge in here. Or not a straight edge, I can get a corner out of this. I'm just going to center the pivot on that thing. And just for fun, I'm going to show you something kind of weird. Okay, a neat little trick. Here in the hypergraph, I've got options, display, shape, hidden and underworld nodes on. Okay, great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to create NURBS primitives. I'm going to get myself a NURBS circle. Yay! And just so you can see it, there's one right there. Actually, I'm just going to leave that rotated like that for now. Actually, what if I go and I make it just a little bit bigger so it's easy to spot? I'll rotate it over. Here comes the weird part. I'll freeze out the transformations, kill the history. Okay, great. So I got a big circle here. Okay. If I select the NURBS circle, hold down Shift, and I grab Curve 1, if I go down here into the command line and I type in parent -S-R, and I hit Enter, what happens is this little circle here is now part of the transform for this curve 1. And I can take this and maybe I'll go here and I'll select, say, a hull. Boop, grab the whole hull. And I can move it up. and I'll scale it down. Oh my god, it looks like an eye! And now, whenever I'm in object mode, if I go to select this thing, either one of these shapes will select curve 1. Yay! And I can take this NURB circle and get rid of it. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to call this thing eye control. Great. Eye control. And you see here it says eye control shape, and then it's got NURB circle shape 1 here. I'm just a lazy guy, so I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to go over here, whoop, and paste it in. And there's eye control shape 1. You'll see as soon as I press enter, the name changes down here. So I got 2 shape nodes going to 1 transform node. Oh my god! Okay, so we got that. And I'll close this down for a second. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make it so that these eyes always aim at this thing, the eye interest. And I'm just going to go in here to constrain, aim, and I always horse around, so I'm just going to go and hit edit, reset settings so that I can start fresh. Okay, and if I select this object and I grab this eyeball, aim vector is set to 1 in the x-axis. I'm going to 0 that. I'm going to go over here to the z-axis and I'm going to hit 1. And I'll hit apply. And now, whenever I move this thing, that eyeball follows. Yay! I'll grab this one here and I'm going to grab that eye. So I grab the eye interest again, grab the eyeball, and I can hit apply. And now whenever I move this, both eyes follow it. Yay! Okay. Now, I want some way to control where this eye controller is, right? Really easily, because I usually like just one object that does this. So I'm going to take, let's go in here. I'll create a locator, and I'm going to change the locator's local scales. Okay, just move this up here. Actually, if I move it up exactly 3 units, it'll be in the middle of the eye. Okay, something like that. And if I take this eye interest and I select the locator and I press P, it will parent it. And now, whenever I go and I rotate the locator around, it moves this child, and I can control that. Okay, great. And I'm just gonna, well, I guess I don't need to freeze out the transformation. I'll try and freeze out the transformations. Great. You'll see that 30 units just, actually my grid is set kind of big. They just went down into here. When you freeze it, they usually bake down into the shape node. Okay, so I've got this, and that works. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to grab this controller, and if I hold down shift and grab the locator, if I go constrain and I use the orient constraint, boop, now whenever I grab this thing and I rotate it, it rotates the locator. Okay, so this thing here is nice and iconic, easy to use. The locators, if you have too many of them in your scene, it's confusing to look at. I don't even really need to see this thing anymore, actually. I'm going to go into the hypergraph and locator, let's just call this thing, actually, how about this? Before I do that, I'm just going to grab the little shape node. Remember, options display, shape hidden in underworld node. So I got a shape node here. Take the locator shape node, little icon on it. I can delete it, and basically I've just got a group. Okay, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to call this eye interest group. Okay, so now I got an eye interest group. And still does the same things. The only thing is with a group, it's hard to select here in this window. You could maybe select this and just hit the up arrow to get it if you needed to. Whatever. Okay, great. I see that the channels are blue here. That's good. That means that they're constrained. Okay, great. And let's see, what are we at? We're at 9 minutes. I'm going to call this one done for the moment, so I'm just going to go in and I'll stop the video here where this is all about the constraints, and I'll stop it.